Here you can see Rahu, and Rahu is deeper in Leo, and Rahu always goes backwards, or rather I should say the north nodes, it is known to science. They are always retrogressing.
Yep, retrogressing.
Okay, hence, can you see the little R here?
Yep, retrogressing.
Okay. This means it doesn't always retrogress. Sometimes this R is not there because there are a few weeks where it just stops in the sky. The nodes aren't always, transiting.
Sure.
But
7 pieces. 7 discs?
Yeah, we'll get to that. That's set disc, yeah. Let's just stick on to
Sorry.
focus. Otherwise, my mind will go everywhere, please.
Go ahead.
So, it's not always doing that, but the backwards retrogressing point of Rahu takes 18 years to go backwards, okay? It's an 18-year cycle, whereas we know the sun, the sun is here at the moment in August. Well, it's going to take 12 months to go back to that same point. That's called the solar return. Okay, the moon here, she goes around real quick. She's the fastest. She'll go around this circle in 29.5 days. Okay, Mars takes 2 years to go around this circle. Jupiter, 12 years. Saturn, 30 years, going around this way. And anti-clockwise. The planets are going anti-clockwise, okay, through the signs. Starting here at Aries, Taurus, this is the order. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. So they're all going around, some fast, some slow, this way. Pluto in Capricorn, he goes that way, around that way. It takes him 248 years. Okay? So he will be getting thousands and thousands of conjunctions with the moon in that cycle. All right? So what we're seeing here is on the 22nd of August, the sun will be on the 29th degree of Leo. So obviously the sun is going anti-clockwise that way, and the moon on the 29th of August, the moon will be over here in the 12th degree of Virgo, right here near Mercury, because she goes forward 13 degrees every day. Okay? Now, so they are going in the anti-clockwise direction, whereas this fella here is the only one. Oh, well, Mercury's retrograde there. He'll also be going backwards. But this fella here is the only one that is going at clockwise because he is retrogressing. All right? Now, it's important to understand that what you have here is a 24-hour clock. This is a 24-hour clock. And over here is the ascendant point in the east, and opposite is the descendant point in the west. Sun sets here, sun rises here, and sun sets over here. And this is the midday point. This is the midnight point below. Okay, so we can see here that the sun, as I punched in the time of 10:30, you can see the sun is around here. At 12 o'clock, the sun will be over here. 2 o'clock over here. 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it will set. So we've got a snapshot of the beginning of the eclipse on the west coast of America, and these are the degrees, and this is the position where the sun will be in the east. You look to the east, you will see the sun, and well, you won't see the moon because the moon is invisible at the new moon. So all you will see is the sun, and you won't see Mercury either, or Mars, because they will be blocked by the sun's light. Of course, it'll be broad daylight. So all you'll see is the sun in the sky at 10:30, and then the eclipse will begin. And what will happen is that one of the discs, this is a 7-disc body, the Rahu,
sun, black star.
Exactly. And it's also called the black sun.
Right.
Because when it does pass over bodies, makes them it makes them invisible, okay? Or in particular, the sun's rays. It has the power to suck up the sun's rays and block them from the earth. This is why full solar eclipses, total solar eclipses, have been inauspicious to the ancients. They've known this magical power. Whereas the moon can't do this. And how do we know? Well, because it never does at the new moon. And we're going to see why. We'll see how the moon actually goes behind the sun at the new moon and not in front of the sun.
Right. And eclipse is supposed to mean abandonment. They thought the sun was abandoning them.
Yeah. Yep. Good point. Let me just check something out. I'm going to see if I've got some good articles to show how we can. No, I don't want that. I'll get to that in a minute. We'll read something. I want to show how these two planes intersect each other. Maybe I can do something like this. Hang on a minute. North node. Sorry. No, I don't want to do that. How did I find that information the other day? Let me just see. North. No, I should have.
You want me to pause it or something?
No.
Okay.
Let's continue on. I should have pulled up this site before. I wanted to show how the two
nodes,
how the nodes work according to conventional science, because the nodes can be explained according to the heliocentric model quite well. It doesn't interfere with true science. It's actually explainable. But anyway, I'll bring up that image later if we get time.
Sure.
So going back to my article here that you can read on my Facebook page, let's continue on. So we've just discussed that the Copernican theory says that the moon is eclipsing the sun. Well, reading on, it says, this is not at all what is happening, and they know it. Any other day, this would be a simple, everyday, normal, straightforward new moon. Why is it that you can never see the moon at the time of the new moon at all for the better part of 2 days? The moon is not seen because it is, quote unquote, under the beams of the sun.
15 degrees.
So, sorry?
Like within, 15 degrees? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, well, look, well, some say 15 degrees, others say 17 degrees.
17, under the beams, yeah, okay. Sorry.
Okay, so,
sorry.
So under the beams is one expression. I use the, in my astrological, what's the word? Sorry. Anyway, I use the expression under the rays. It's the same. So if we click on this, we go to, sorry?
And the combustion is within 8 degrees combustion range or something?
No, that's something totally different.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so under the beams. Okay. If you keep interrupting, we've got
sorry,
we've got some. Yeah. My internet's really low today, and we've got duplexing, and you're coming at 3 seconds later for some reason. It's chopping me up. Yeah, so we might have to. It's sort of.
I hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Under the beams. A planet is said to be under the beams when it comes within a certain range of a conjunction of the sun. Well, we'll find out how many degrees that is. When a planet is under the beams, its light is completely overwhelmed and obscured Interesting. This is astrology speaking here, folks. Pay attention. As a result of its close proximity to the sun, the exact range in which a planet becomes visible or invisible based on its proximity to the sun varies based on the planet involved, as well as other factors such as atmospheric conditions. However, astrologers during the Hellenistic tradition used a standardized range of 15 degrees on either side of the sun for a planet to be considered under the beams. Okay, so I mentioned 17 degrees before, but some systems use 17 degrees, but in the main, 15 degrees is sufficient. Whenever any planet comes within 15 degrees of the sun, it is blind spotted. You cannot see it. Okay, like the blind spot in your eye. It just simply vanishes. The moon vanishes when she's conjunct the sun every 29 and a half days. Therefore, in most ancient Greek and Latin texts from the Hellenistic and Roman period, when a planet is said to be under the beams, it means it is within 16 degrees of the conjunction of the sun. So, question. Is the moon here within 15 degrees of the sun, Jerry?
Yes.
Yes, it is. It's on the same degree, yeah?
Pretty likely, yeah. 28 degrees.
Okay. So we're going to see how astrology has all the answers, brother. We're going to see that loud. Okay. So, continuing on. Are you having fun?
Absolutely. I love it. I love this stuff. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. It's a shame it's not a good internet day though, because when you talk for some reason I'm hearing you about not 3 seconds but about half a second in delay. I'll just turn the volume down because for some reason some hangouts are like that, and it really is frustrating for a speaker who has to do a lot of talking. Anyway, if the moon is closer to us than the sun, it should always be visible. Think about it. Think about it, Globies. If there are any watching, I'm sure there will be a few. Think about it. Please. Open up your hearts. Be humble. It's time to be humble. Sure, we're having a bit of fun, making fun of the globetrotters, but, they've had 500 years of ridiculing the flat earth and flat earthers and shutting them up in asylums and putting them in prison and burning their books and in inquisitions and destroying their cultures like the Jesuits did with the Mayans and the Aztecs and the Aboriginals and the Incas and all the peoples who were flat earthers and stationary, and they destroyed their books. And now they make fun at those peoples as though they were stupid because now we have a pseudoscience globe. So open up your hearts, guys, be humble and think. Why is it that the moon, which is far closer to us than the sun, like you mentioned before, Jerry, it's 228,000 miles away, yeah?
38,000, yeah. 238,000 is what, they're hunky-shunky. That's the heliocentric Copernican globe-tard theory. Nonsense.
Exactly. And how far is the sun?
93 billion miles. 93 million miles. Sorry.
Okay. And have you ever seen a moon near the sun at the new moon, Jerry? Have you ever seen it?
It's impossible. You don't see it. You're supposed to see it. It's supposed to be a huge hunk of rock, right? They're supposed to have landed on it 6 times. Sorry, go ahead.
That's right. It's a big ball rock.
But where is it?
Floats in space, and it's closer to us than the sun, and yet the sun, with its soft little photon rays, is able to envelop this rock and just put it straight out of vision and make it invisible. It's pretty magical sun, isn't it?
Invisible, yes. Magical. It's magic.
It's a magical sun, how it makes big balls floating in space just disappear every time the new moon comes along. It's very clever.
It's amazing.
It should be visible all month long. All month long. Let me say it again. Sounds so good. All month long. And yet it is not.
Wow.
It is invisible at the time of the new moon because the moon becomes invisible due to its close proximity to the sun. So what is eclipsing the sun? You will notice on the astrological chart you have in front of you that the North Node is on the 24th degree of Leo, just 4 degrees away from the sun and moon. This will cause, this is the cause of the eclipse. The Hindus call this Rahu, the head of the dragon. It is also known as the black sun. You will also notice the little R just near the North Node. This means the North Node is in retrograde mode. In other words, it is retrogressing. Hence, it goes backwards to block the sun due to its retrograde motion. The moon never goes retrograde and so cannot be making a backwards shadow from west to east on the continent of America. Only Rahu can do this, since he's right there and retrogressing. Nice coincidence, isn't it? You want an explanation for the shadow going backwards? You got it. Ain't no moon. Never was. Okay, and this is a coincidence which the liars do not want you to notice, discover, understand. The Jesuits, who control all astronomical mainstream knowledge since Copernicus, know, and he was a Jesuit, know very well that this black sun is broken up into 7 pieces / discs, and they are scattered around the North Node. They also know that when one of these 7 discs passes in front of the sun, it eclipses the sun. And the moon passes behind the sun at the time of the new moon. The solar eclipse can only happen when the new moon occurs conjunct the North Node. It cannot happen anywhere else along the ecliptic. In other words, an eclipse can never happen anywhere along this ecliptic here other than near this fellow here, the North Node. The North Node. There you go. When the sun and moon are together, and let's say they're over here, far away from the North Node, there cannot be an eclipse. Doesn't it make sense that wouldn't it make sense that these logical people would put 2 and 2 together? If every single eclipse in the history of the universe has occurred near this node, then
which case cause people?
It might be it causing the eclipse. And it's going backwards as well. Let intelligence prevail, Jerry. That's what I say. Let it prevail and let stupidity continue on in its course. As the Master said in the Gospel, do not pull the weeds out with the wheat, because let them grow together so that we can distinguish them carefully, for fear that you may not pull the weeds, you might not pull the wheat out with the weeds because they are too young. Let them grow their full course. In other words, let the stupidity grow with the intelligence. Then at the end of the harvest, the weeds will be recognizable. You pull them out and you throw them into the fiery furnace, which is perdition and damnation. And the wheat will go into the everlasting kingdom of the heavens. So there's a lot at stake here, guys. Be humble. Be humble, whoever you are, whether you're sitting on the fence. Astrology has all the answers. Syncretism's got all the answers. All the answers are with us, okay? And none of them are with the Copernican revolution. It's a lie. It's a blasphemous, satanic, demonic, Luciferian lie. What do you think there, Jerry? Want to input there at that point? It's good.
Yeah,
juncture.
no doubt. Fantastic. I was also going to say is, you might say that 24 degrees is far from 28, but these are smaller pieces, so the distance is not as important. Remember, you were saying something on that. I remember that. That was fantastic.
Yes.
And the nodes crossing the sun of Venus and Mercury transits.
Yes, if we get time, we'll do that, because you did mention that you like that point. When we see these computer-generated images of the Mercury transits and Venus transits, we're not seeing planets going in front of the sun. Astrology tells you that you cannot see Venus ever, period. Mercury as well in front of or near the sun. You will never see it. So what they're showing you is the nodes. They're actually showing you the little nodes.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's have a look at this article here. I want to see if we can read something really, really interesting that I want to share for people. Look, you can just punch in here. Look at this. Look what I've done here. Rahu causes the eclipse. Look at all these articles, guys. There's millions showing. If the truth is out there,
yes.
You just have to really look for it.
Yes.
Don't you think?
I mean, yeah, I even have the video of, that's quite a compelling video, that one video where you see Rahu and Ketu on the moon, the lunar eclipse. Remember that one? Fantastic. Yep. Watch that one, folks. In the playlist.
Have a look at this one. Have a look at this one. Look, I just clicked here. According to Vedic astronomy, the most ancient and accurate system of astronomy on the planet, solar eclipses, are not caused by the moon coming in front of the sun as astronomers belie it. Rather, the moon is described as being further away than the sun, and what happens at the time of the solar eclipse is the moon goes behind the sun, and a dark planet called Rahu comes between the sun and the earth. This is true science, guys.